Hey, Christian women entrepreneurs. I'm here live and I'm hoping it's going through and showing up in the group. So today is day one of the Becoming a Six-Figure Earner Challenge. So if you are on, if this is showing up in the group, go ahead and type in the chat that you are here. Type hashtag live if you're watching this live with me right now. Or type hashtag replay if you are checking out the replay. Also, be sure to let me know where you are from. Also, give StreamYard permission to show your name. That way, when I see the comments, I can see your name and who you are. Hi, Jenny. Hi. I'm so glad it's working. It says that it is, and I'm seeing the comments come through. So, good to have you all here. I'm so excited. Again, this is day one of the Becoming a Six-Figure Earner Challenge, and we're going all through mindset today and how to have a mindset of a six-figure earner. Hi, Alyssa. Hi, Letitia. Nice to have you guys here. Awesome. Hi. I'm from, is that Missouri? MS, is that Missouri? I get them confused. Or Mississippi? I think it's Mississippi. Yeah. MO is MS is, I don't know what state that is. I'm like racking my brain. MS is what state? Watching from Atlanta, Georgia. I know GA. Awesome. Tammy, hi. Nice to meet you. I'm trying to figure out what my state acronyms are. I'm like, I don't even know. Another Facebook user said, hello, give StreamYard permission to use your name. That way I can see it here and use your name because I love using names, especially I think that's very important. So Michigan. Awesome. Hi, Tammy from Michigan. Mississippi. Okay, I thought Mississippi was MI. Mississippi. Awesome. Good to have you. Ohio. Hi, Stephanie. So just come on as you're hopping on. Just let us know where you're watching from. It's so great to have you. Houston, Texas. Oh my goodness, I was just in Texas over the summer. I love Texas. It was warm and nice, and it was the first time, and awesome. So I probably just missed the crazy heat though, because I hear it's like super hot after about July into August. So anyway, great to have you all here. Again, this is day one of the 3-day challenge. You are right on time. And I'm glad for all of you who are here and you are watching it live. Thank you for typing in hashtag live. If you're catching the replay, just type in hashtag replays. That way I just know you watched it and I can come back and answer any questions that you might have toward the end. So today we're digging deep into the mindset of a six-figure earner. So let's just start off. And the first thing that I want to point out is that everyone lives with a liar. Every single one of you, even I, live with a liar, and it's your brain. Crazy, right? So today, like I said, it's all about mindset, and we're going to dive deeper into figuring out what lies you are, I guess your brain is feeding you, and how to determine what the truth is. Because, you know, we get a lot of thoughts and we're like, oh, you know, these are really easy to believe. And in believing them, we kind of get off track to, you know, in our business or in our confidence and who we really are. And a lot of it stems from those self-doubt thoughts that come up. And that's just your brain lying to you. So today I really just want to debunk all those lies your brain tries to feed you. I want you to know first that you live with a liar. So that way when it starts feeding you thoughts, you can question those thoughts and be like, wait a second, that's not true. That's a lie. My brain's just trying to feed me. And we'll talk about why your brain actually does that, because it's really interesting. Let me just check the comments. Hello, everyone. Welcome to day one. Yes, welcome. Thank you. Hi, Carmela. Hello. Hi. Nice to have you here. Okay, so yeah, who's ready to step into their role as a six-figure earner? Just type me in the comments or smash those hearts. Give me some hearts if you're ready to just start leveling up in your mind and becoming that six-figure earner. So I just want to say this, that doubts are going to pop up. Like, it doesn't matter like what level you are currently at, what level you are striving to get to. Those doubts are going to come up because you're human and you have a human brain, and the human brain is going to lie to you. And you know, it's not that your brain is trying to be mean. It's that your brain is doing what it knows to do. And that is, it's trying to keep you safe. Okay. And so your brain, its number one job is to keep you alive and keep you safe, right? We know that way back when it's like, oh, we have to make sure we're making good decisions so we don't get eaten by predators and prey. And so your brain is still operating that way. And so it gets worried and thinks you're going to die if you are trying to do something that's uncomfortable. So when you're trying to level up and stretch beyond where you're currently at in your business, you're trying to get to that next level, whether it is 2K, 20K, 200K, 2 million, it doesn't matter what level you're at. Your brain's trying to keep you at your level. It's trying to keep you comfortable. It's trying to keep you safe. And it believes that safety comes from what is familiar. And so for me, I'm very open about this, that I was in a verbally and emotionally abusive relationship. And so I recently left that relationship. I filed for divorce. It's almost finalized. And but when I was trying to make that decision, my brain kept telling me, like, this is as good as it's going to get. You're never going to find someone better. We don't know what's beyond that decision to leave. And so it's unknown, which means it's not safe. So my brain was telling me, like, I needed to stay in this abusive relationship. And this is what was best for me. And this is what was safe, because it's familiar. And because I knew exactly what to expect, because I'd been in it for 3.5 years. So I knew how my ex-husband was going to respond in different situations. I knew. And because of that, your brain tries to tell you, like, oh, this is where you need to stay. And it'll feed you lies to try and keep you there. And that's just because it doesn't know what's beyond that decision. So right now, you might be seeing these lies that your brain is feeding you come up in ways like, I'm not enough, or who's going to listen to me? Nobody wants what I have to offer, right? So if these are resonating with you, just hit that like button, hit those hearts, or say, yes, that's me in the comments. Let me know that this is resonating with you. And so like I said, your brain is feeding you garbage thoughts, and it wants you to believe them. And so what you need to do when these thoughts come up, again, it doesn't matter what level. It's I was actually on a coaching call yesterday. I was being coached, and she said, like, her own coach says that new level, new devil. And I like that, because it's true in the fact that it doesn't matter what level you're at, there's a new devil to face, in that your thoughts and those self-doubts that come into your mind are just at a different level, but you still have them. So you might see all those successful people out there online, and you're like, oh, they're like a multiple 7-figure earner. They don't have any doubts. They don't have any of these issues. And I promise you, if you sat down with them and asked them, they would say, you know what? Every time I go to post something, or every time I go live, or every time I go to do my event with thousands of people, I have these thoughts that creep in, and they're telling me, nobody likes you. Nobody's going to listen to you. They're not going to like this. They're going to turn on you even, right? So your mind is just feeding you these thoughts because you're trying to level up. So it's kind of, if you could recognize, like, oh, my brain's just doing what it's supposed to do, then you can start seeing how a lot of it is just lies. And so one way to really do that is to get it out of your head. And I tell my clients this all the time. I say, you need to get the thoughts that are in here that are holding you back out of here, because they're very easy to believe when they're inside your head. When you start talking to a coach about them, or you talk to a family member or a friend, like I talk to my mom sometimes, and I am like spewing out all these thoughts and the self-doubt, and I'm like, wait, that doesn't even make any sense. Like, why would I even think that? That's not even true. So getting it out of your brain and either talking to someone about it, whether it's a friend, whether it's a coach, or writing it on paper even, then you are able to look at it and see how silly it oftentimes really is. Like, you have this thought like, oh, well, no one's going to listen to me. And it's just like, okay, you think that inside your head, and you're like, oh, that's so believable. And then you write it down and you're like, okay, nobody is going to listen to me. And you challenge it, right? So you want to challenge your thoughts. And this is huge. This is thought management. This is mindset coaching right now. Like I'm putting on my coaching cap and I'm coaching you guys right now. And you want to look at that and you want to challenge it. And you want to say, okay, nobody will listen to me. Is that actually true? Right? And the way that you can figure out if it's true or not is you just need to decide, okay, well, have people listened to me before? Right? Well, okay, there have been people who listen to me because there are people who comment on my posts. There are people who watch my live videos, or there are people who watch the replays of my videos. So obviously people are listening. That's not true. Okay? So anytime a thought comes into your mind that is a negative thought and leading you to disbelieve what you have to offer is enough or is good or people want it, you need to just pause, take that thought and challenge it. And again, a lot of times you need to take it out of here and put it down on here so that you can see it for what it truly is. And oftentimes it's a lie, right? And another way to determine whether your mind is feeding you lies or the truth is to also challenge it with like, okay, is this something that God would say about me? Like if if you're like, oh, I'm not good enough, like God wouldn't say that about you. He doesn't believe that about you. You are good enough. So when you challenge it to the God test, like would God think this about me and it's not true, then it's not true. It's a lie, right? Like I'm not good enough to get there. I'm not good enough to make that money. Like what? That doesn't make sense, especially if you're like, oh, wait, would God ever think that about me? Would God limit my potential? No. Would God limit how much money I can make? No, he doesn't do that. He's good. So if these thoughts don't align with that, that's another way to debunk them. So you want to find evidence that they're not true and then debunk them by saying, well, would God think this about me or say this about me? Heck no. So it's not true, right? So, now, another thing about these thoughts is that sometimes, so I guess the first step is really getting to the point where you see the thoughts for what they are. So you recognize like these thoughts are coming up. And sometimes you don't even recognize that there's a thought coming up, but you recognize that you're feeling a certain way. So maybe in your body, you're like, I'm anxious right now, or I'm nervous, or I'm angry, or whatever that feeling is inside you. You're like, I can identify with the feelings. Those thoughts, I'm like, I don't know, So give me hearts or give me likes, or let me know in the comments, like if you resonate with either feelings. Actually, I want you to comment. Can you identify your feeling first, or do you identify your thought first? And they're half and half, probably. So is it that I notice a feeling, but I don't know what my thoughts are that are causing it, or I notice my thoughts right away, and that's why I'm feeling that way, and I tag it that way. So let me know, do you notice your thoughts first, or do you notice your feelings first? So if you notice your feelings and you're like, I'm just feeling very anxious right now. I'm feeling like I don't really want to show up. I don't want to do that. I'm kind of like pushing away from that. Then you need to work it back to your thoughts. Like, okay, what are the thoughts that I'm thinking right now that are causing that feeling? Because it's your thoughts that create your feelings. And you might not think that, but here's the test. Or here's maybe a story to help you understand it. So if you think, well, actually, we're going to test it. If you think about something that makes you extremely happy, like bring yourself back to a place in your life or a time in your life where you have been the happiest you have ever been. Like, I want you to comment below post in the comments, when have you been the happiest you've ever been? I want you to bring yourself there. I want you to smell the smells. I want you to see the imagery. I want you to feel whatever the weather is, the temperature is, whatever feeling that is, get into it. What is the happiest place you've ever been to? I want you to think about it. I want you to envision it. I want it to come into your mind. I want you to share it with me in the comments. And I know they're a bit lagging because I'm seeing you guys, you have your feelings first. Some of you thoughts first, feelings. Yes, I feel first a lot of times. So feelings, yep, awesome. So again, what is that thing that makes you the happiest? So I like to think about when I'm with my daughter, like I'm so happy just thinking about her and the gift that God gave me in her, and that I get to be her mom, and how amazing she is and how she's learning and growing. Like just talking about it and thinking about it, I'm like, I just love her so, so much. Or it could be like, you know what, this one time I went on this vacation and it was the best time of my life. Or for me, like I sing on my worship team and I lead worship, and that feeling of being in a state of worship is just like so amazing, and I love it. And so when you're in this space as you're sailing, so I see some, the days that I have my children, awesome. So you guys are starting to comment those happy things. So if you start thinking about those happy things and those happy memories, you are going to feel happy. Like you can see my energy rising as I'm talking about how much I love my daughter, how much I love worship, how much I love being on here and coaching you guys. Like that just, I love it so much. And you see that in my energy. And so it's the thoughts that are causing my feelings. Now, if we were to, and I don't want to go into this because I don't want to bring that feeling down. I want you to stay high on this happy thoughts of all these amazing things. And so if you start thinking about like, okay, now I want you to think about all the things that you need to do for your business. And I want you to think about how you're not where you want to be. And I want you to think about all these other things. That's going to bring your emotions back down and your feelings. And maybe you're going to start thinking like, oh my goodness, I have all this stuff that I need to do. And you start dreading it. And that is the example that I want you to understand, that your thoughts create your feelings. Okay. So that's really what I was trying to show you there, is that your thoughts create your feelings. And why that's important is because your mindset is important to get you to being a six-figure earner. And we're going to dive deeper into this in my course that I'm actually launching next week on mindset, because I can cover only so much in this training, but mindset is so big and so important. And that's just one thing I will be diving deeper into, like I said, in my course next week. So your thoughts, once you realize, okay, my thoughts create my feelings. Now your thoughts create your feelings. And then from your feelings, you generally take action, right? Like if you're feeling like yucky, you're like, I don't really want to do anything. You're feeling unmotivated. You're like, I'm not going to show up today. It's okay if I don't. You talk yourself out of it. If you have those self-doubt thoughts, you're like, no one's going to care or notice if I don't show up anyway. So your thoughts create those feelings of doubt. And then those feelings of doubt lead you to inaction, right? So if your thoughts create your feelings and your feelings create your actions, then you're like, okay, well, I want you to understand that you can control your thoughts, because we just did it. We did an exercise to say, okay, let's think happy thoughts. Think about things that make you happy, right? It's just a switch in like the question that you're asking yourself, or a switch in, I'm just going to think happy thoughts. From that, you can produce the emotions you want. From those emotions, you can produce the actions that you want, right? And so why mindset is important to becoming a six-figure earner is because you have to get yourself in that mindset of being a six-figure earner, that mindset of saying, I can do this no matter what, that mindset of saying, even when these self-doubt thoughts come up, I know how to handle them. I'm going to be okay. I'm going to push past them anyway. And I'm going to replace them with the thoughts that are going to get me to that next level. Those thoughts that are going to allow me to show up. Those thoughts that are going to get me in that high vibe energy. And that energy is going to be like, oh, I just want to act. I want to show up. I want to take action on those things that I've been putting off because I got myself to that state through my mindset. Okay. So it's so funny because I actually have notes for this and I've totally gone off script. So I think that's just another example of the spirit just leading for whatever you guys need to hear, I feel like. So give me hearts if this is resonating with you, if you're liking this, if you're understanding more about how your thoughts create your feelings create your actions. Let's see, I'm checking the comments. Sailing, retiring from 32 years of teaching this past June. Oh my goodness, Tammy, congratulations. Oh my goodness, that's amazing. That's huge. I've been a teacher 8 years and it's hard work. I appreciate you and all the work you do. Oh my goodness, it's crazy. And if it's online for you, oh my goodness, that's just a mess. So congratulations. That's so awesome. So again, just give me hearts if this is resonating with you. And yeah, so let's just keep going. Make sure I'm touching on all the points that I have for you guys today. So let's see. I got off script. Now I'm trying to get back on script. Am I bringing them out? Let's see. Okay. So I guess we did that. So I'm all over the place. Okay, so let's talk about some of the thoughts that are coming up. And so a big thing that I do when self-doubt thoughts come up, and oftentimes they sound like, I'm not good enough. Mindset is everything. Yes, it is. It really is. So I'm not good enough. Who's going to listen to me? So-and-so is already doing that, and they're at this level. I'm at this level. I'm not far enough along. That's one that I coached a client on recently. And she's like, you know what? I would totally love to talk to moms who have children with autism, but I'm just not far enough along to be able to do that yet. I need to be on the other side of the mountain first before I can help them or share with them. And I coached her on that and was like, well, if you're just showing up and sharing your story and sharing your breakthroughs and sharing your transformations, people are going to learn from that. People are going to be attracted to that, and people are going to love that and love you for that. And that is enough. And you don't have to be on the other side of the mountain. You just have to be one step ahead, and you have to be sharing your story so that other people can jump on and go on that journey with you over the mountain. And so I want you to know today that if you're having those thoughts of self-doubt where you feel like you're not far enough along or you don't know enough yet, I want you to recognize that thought, and I want you to work on replacing it with the thought that you have everything that you need right now. You don't need to go learn anything more. You don't need to buy another thing to teach you something. You don't need anything more than what you have right now. You are 100% enough right now, and people need what you have to offer right now as is. So if you're thinking, oh, I need to go get another certification, I need to read that book, I need to watch that, I don't know, YouTube video or webinar or training or whatever. No, you have everything you need right now to get started. And, maybe you need help extracting that confidence or building that confidence, but you have it inside you, what you need. And there are people who can help you use what's inside you to get you there. But don't think that you need to go and learn more, get certified more, and don't doubt yourself. People like it. So my client, she has a son who I believe is 5. I might be a little off on that, but like around 5 years old. So it's like, okay, well, you're 5 steps ahead of someone who has a child who just had a child who has autism. And so you have 5 years of experience that you can teach, right? So you need to understand, I have something to teach. I have something to share. My story is valuable. Give me hearts if you think that is true, or you want to start believing that about yourself. And also type in the comments any self-doubt that might be coming up for you right now. What are those thoughts that creep in? Because I would love to give you new thoughts to think. Now, here's another thing when it comes to mindset. Now, mindset work is not a one and done thing. Okay. You don't just come on this call today and we talk about mindset for an hour or so and you're like, oh, I'm good to go. I got the mindset. No. Mindset is not a one and done thing. It's a thing you have to continue to work on. And like I said, at every level, you're going to be given new thoughts. Your brain is going to give you new thoughts to try and hold you back and keep you at that level so that you can't level up. And so you need to work through them at every level. You need to work through them daily. And here's a perfect example that I like to use. And I've told my clients this story too. And it's that so my parents have lived in the same house for like 20 years. I'm actually living with them now through the process of divorce and renting my house out and all this stuff. So in the 20 years, they've had the same garbage can in the same position, which is under the sink on the left-hand side. Okay. They recently got a new garbage can. It doesn't fit under the sink, so it sits next to the bar. Now, every time anyone in the house, I swear to you, anyone in the house goes to throw something away, they keep going back under the sink. And then they're like, wait, it's not there. The garbage can is now over here. And they have to keep redirecting themselves because for 20 years, we have built in our mind this habit to go under the sink to throw away our garbage. So now we have to constantly retrain our brain to say, no, it's not there anymore. It's over here. It's over here. It's over here. And I swear to you, it's been, that garbage can, the new garbage can has been there for probably about a month now, and I'm still going under the sink. And so now I reference this with my clients when they keep going back to that same thought or that same thing or that same self-doubt. I'm like, it's not under the sink. The trash can is not under the sink, right? So I have to keep saying that. And that's the point. The point is that it's not a one-time thing. It's not like, oh, I'm just going to tell my brain that the trash can is over here now, and now every time my brain knows to go there. Because that's not how your brain works. Your brain learns stuff. And when it learns it, it creates a neural pathway. And those neural pathways, I know I'm getting sciencey on you, but I love this. Like, it's so important to understand how it works, because then you can, instead of feeling bad and shaming yourself when you do something again, and you're like, man, I thought I was over that. And it's like, oh man, I had this anger problem and I thought I was better, but I lashed out at my kids, or I lashed out at my husband, or I lashed out at a friend, whatever. Instead of shaming yourself, you realize, like, my brain it's created to work this way. And so it's going to take time to retrain it to not do that, to not react, but to respond, to not lash out, but to be patient, right? And so the way the brain works is when you do something new for the first time, it creates a neural pathway. That neural pathway is like, think of it like a thin, like a really small thread or something, or yeah, something that like you can just like break it really easily. So if you did something once, then that neural pathway can just, it'll go away, it'll be broken if you don't ever do that thing again. So like you go and play baseball one time, your brain didn't really make a habit, make anything a strong connection. You're probably not that great at it because you just did it one time. Whereas when you keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, right? You're wanting to get better at something. You want to build a habit of something. So you wake up every morning at 5 a.m. and you read 20 minutes over and over and over again. Then what happens is that little neural pathway that's super thin starts getting stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger until it's almost unbreakable. And at that point, you've created this habit. So what happened with that garbage can being under the sink is like, my brain is like, oh, I know it's under there. Right? So like you driving to work, if you've ever driven to work and you got there and you're like, how the heck did I get here? I wasn't paying attention. It's because in your brain already had that neural pathway. It was solid. It was set. Your brain knows what it's doing. It didn't need to exert any more energy. And your brain likes to not exert energy. Our brains are actually really lazy too. They're like, if I can not exert energy, I'm not going to. And that's why you can get to work and you're like, how'd I get here? Because your brain just knows, like, oh, it knows how to get you there without you having to really consciously think of it. Okay. So once it's so strong, like I think of it, and I'm going to use a Disney movie reference. And if you have ever seen the movie Hercules, let me know if you've seen the movie Hercules. Type in the comments, yes, I've seen the movie Hercules. I'm going to use it as a reference in a second. Let me catch up on these comments because they're looking good. Let me see. Thank you. I need to hear that. I'm still trying to figure out my ideal client and my service. And yeah, and that's something that I'll dive deeper into in my live course next week is digging deep into who your ideal client is. So that way your messaging is on point, your branding is on point. Yes. So Judy came on. Hi, Judy. You didn't create let's see. Oh, dog trail. You didn't beat down the grass. Let's see. I'm just catching up on the comments here. You hear that? I'm trying to figure out my service. Yeah. So like if you're trying to figure out your offer, your ideal clients, that's what I'm going into in my live course next week. And it's live. That way, you know, we're all showing up together, have some accountability. Hercules. Yes. Hercules. Have you guys seen the movie Hercules? Let me know. Yay for next week learning. Yes. Garbage can analogy is great. I had the same issue brushing my teeth when trying to use peroxide during COVID for whitening. All of my life, I ran the brush under the faucet before brushing. I'm still getting upset to do with the peroxide on the brush as it dilutes the peroxide. It's a real fight in the morning when not fully awake or at night when really tired. I love that, Jay. That's so true. That's so true. You do something for so long and then your mind just like does it and you're like, oh, dang it. I didn't mean to do that. And it's so funny because my dad was like, you know, a good thing to help you retrain your brain and like start doing things differently is like, try brushing your teeth with your left hand or your non-dominant hand. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do that. But every time I go to brush my teeth, I totally forget. Like I don't do it, right? I'm just like, oh, I just, do what my brain knows to do. Your brain doesn't like to be challenged. Just like, if I can do this the lazy way, I'm going to do it the lazy way. Okay. So my issue is about what I charge. Yeah. Oh yeah. Not charging enough. Oh my goodness, yes. I'll come back to my Hercules reference, but I want to touch on that. Yeah, Alyssa, my mindset issue. So Alyssa says, my mindset issue is about what I charge. And that's huge. And, and that's where you're having doubts about the value of either yourself, your offer, or so it's kind of doubt. You're struggling with your belief in yourself, your offer, or your belief in your client. So like I said, I can only do so much on this training, but I'll dig deeper into mindset and getting through that in the course next week. But when it comes to charging, it's really, it is mindset. And it's asking yourself like, okay, what I do for charging for me, I say, what's a no-brainer? What is a no-brainer? And if you can settle on a price that you're like, you know what, this is a steal. Like the price that they're paying is not even close to the value I'm going to give them, then it becomes a lot easier to be able to charge that price. So that is one tip that I can give you right now to help you. So find that no-brainer price that you're like, yeah, there's no way that people would be crazy not to take me up on this offer because I'm offering so much value beyond this. And I feel good about this number, and it's not zero, right? That's not the number. The number's not free. The number is a good number that you're like, yeah, like $500 sounds good for X amount of time because I know in that time I'm giving them $10,000 worth of value. Like on this training, I'm like, I'm giving you like, this is $2,000 worth of value in these 3 days that are free. Like, and I love it. I love giving my best stuff away for free. I love giving stuff away for free. I love saying that this is how much it's worth, and I'm going to give it for free because it helps you show up too and be able to charge that, whether it's free or charge that, whether it's my course next week that's $197 for four weeks of live training. Like, it's a steal. And so just that's my tip to you. Quick win. It's just, what's a no-brainer that they're going to get more value than they have to pay. Let's see. So there's a schedule for the trainings. I want to make sure I'm on. So this week I have the 3 free trainings. It's today, tomorrow, and the next day at 4 p.m. Pacific. So this time, which is 7 p.m. Eastern time. And then my live course, there is a small investment. It is $197. I do offer some payment plans because I like to make it as affordable as possible for you guys. And I will be, so that is just, you can find that at I'll post the link after this live, but it's at my website. I don't think I can do chat. I don't know why it won't let me do chat, but my website, chrisannicole.com, and you'll be able to find that offer. So that is KRISANNNICOLE.com. So there's 3 N's in that, and you'll be able to find that offer for the 3 weeks of the live trainings next week. So just catching up on comments. I do a logo and I charge $5. Is that okay to charge $5? That's up to you. Do you feel like that's good? How much time are you putting in? I think that's a steal. Do you feel like that's undercharging? Maybe. I mean, and how much experience do you have? How are people coming to you a lot? Are you at a point where it's like, okay, I need to charge $5 because I'm not getting enough people? Or are you at the point where I'm like, I'm only charging $5 and I'm getting so many people that it's overwhelming, so I need to up my prices? Okay. So great questions, great comments. I love this. Thank you so much for giving your gifts and adding so much value. Absolutely. I'm so I love this. This is so fun. Okay. So I'm going to bring it back because I got distracted by the comments, and not distracted, but it was good. It was good distraction and answering that question about how to charge what you're worth. And in charging what you're worth, you have to realize that how much you are worth, and you have so much worth. So Hercules. So the Disney movie Hercules, at the end, when Hercules jumps into the Sea of Souls and he's trying to rescue Megara and her soul to put it back in her body so she lives. And the three oracles, they share the one eyeball. They're grabbing the thread of Hercules's life and they're about to cut it to end his life. And what happens is it turns gold because he becomes a god and they can't cut it. And what I'm relating this back to is your mind and the way the neural pathways work is that once you do something so much that it becomes a habit, it's like that neural pathway that once was easily broken becomes this golden thread that cannot be severed. Or it's like, it's not that it's impossible, but it's really, really hard. And so that's why mindset work is this repetition thing you have to repeat over and over and over again. I used to have anger issues when I was younger, and I had to repeat over and over and over again that, and not beat myself up when I failed and I got angry again. I had to just keep changing and shifting and recognizing, like, I'm having these thoughts that I'm letting control me, and then just lashing out, where I need to, that split second between the thought and the reaction, I need to catch that. And that's the next thing that I want to talk about, is that the first thing you need to do is you need to catch those thoughts. And when you catch them, then you can do something about them. So if you're like, I can't do something about them because I can't even catch them, just step back and say, okay, I need to catch them first. If I can start seeing, like, okay, I'm seeing those thoughts that are coming up. And even if it's after the fact, you've already done something and you're like, oh my goodness, I didn't show up yesterday because I believed all those self-doubts and like, or I haven't shown up for a week and whatever it is, that you gave into that lie. So if you're on the other end of it and you're recognizing, like, I gave into that lie, like, don't beat yourself up more. Right now, today, you need to say, you know what? I've been giving into this lie that I'm not enough and I haven't been showing up. I've been giving into this lie that nobody wants what I have to offer and I haven't been showing up. I've been giving into this lie that I need to charge this low rate because, you know, I'm new and that's really what, but it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good. It's a lie. So it's okay. Don't beat yourself up right now. What I want you to do right now is I want you to sit up straight and I want you to just sit in confidence and say, you know what? I am no longer going to believe those lies. I am going to believe these new truths, and these new truths I'm going to start practicing today. And I want you to write down your new truths. Okay. And that is, I am good enough. That is, I am valuable. That is, people want what I have to offer. That is, like, I'm going to show up the way that I am because people are going to like me for me. Right? So it doesn't, you don't have to have your hair done. You don't have to have the right thing to say. You could say and you can show up all sweaty. You can show up nervous. You can show up despite feeling anxious and nervous and whatever you're feeling. You can show up anyway. I did that today. I'm going to tell you, yesterday I was on a call with a coach, and I was having the self-doubt. I would, like, it doesn't matter what level you're at. You're still going to have those thoughts creep in, and they're going to sound so believable. And I was just sharing with her. I was like, I have anxiety. I have doubts. Like, nobody's going to want to hear what I have to say. No one's going to want to listen. Like, who am I to offer this? And I'm just like sitting here like 24 hours later, right? And I'm sharing this with you guys. Like, I was having doubts about this training, and now I'm on here and I'm like, why was I doubting this? I love doing this. I'm so passionate about this. I love serving you guys. I think that this training has been packed with so much value. And those who needed to hear this were on it. Those who need to hear this are watching the replay. And I am saying exactly what I need to say for exactly who needs to hear it. And that's a thought that I get to believe. And because I believe that, I'm able to show up here just authentically, wholeheartedly, and speak from my heart to you guys. And that's all it is. It's all it is. You have to decide what thoughts you want to think. Replace those old ones with new ones. And practice them over and over and over again until you stop going under the sink to throw something away, right? You have to repeat it until that new habit is formed and that thread turns gold and it's almost unbreakable. And you know what? You don't beat yourself up when you are like, okay, I'm about to go live and I'm nervous. Like, my countdown was on. It was like 2 minutes and I'm like, I'm nervous. Okay, I can do this. I can do this. And I'm talking to myself. And now that I'm on here, I'm like, what was I even worried about? What was I even worried about? And after the fact, you feel so proud and you feel good. And you're like, that wasn't that bad. But your brain, moving back around, your brain is a liar. And it's going to keep lying to you and telling you all the things so that you don't hit that live button, so that you don't hit that post button, so that you don't hit record, so that you don't put out there your offer, right? Your brain's just going to keep telling you that, and it's not true. So that's really what today is about that mindset and about recognizing that those thoughts are going to come up. And what I like to do, here's another trick, because I like giving you guys tricks and tips. I simply say, I'm unavailable for that thought. Like, that's as simple as that. It's like, oh, self-doubt. Okay, you're not good enough, Chrisanne. Like, I hear you, but I'm unavailable for that thought. And I really am good enough. And here's why. And people do want what I have to offer. And here's why. Here's the evidence. Like, I have so much evidence. I have testimonials. I have client success stories. I have but still my brain is going to try and tell me lies. So, okay, let me check the comments. If you're liking this, give me hearts, guys. You guys are blowing up the comments and I love it. I appreciate you guys all for being here. Like, it's been such an honor to serve you guys. And I just want to make sure again, I'm like, did I go through all my notes and make sure I served you all the value? I guess I could always just hop on live again and be like, so what I forgot to tell you, right? So yeah, just show up. Thanks for this video. I woke up at 7 a.m. and watched this, very motivated. Oh, good. Good morning. Glad to have you here. That's God working through you. Yes. Love the golden thread analogy. Yes. I'm a very picture person. Like, I like doing writing things out or seeing things visual. That's the word I'm looking for. Picture person. I'm a very visual person. And so I like to give those visuals for people to understand it more. I think it's the teacher in me. Like I said, 8 years of teaching. I'm like, okay, draw it out, make it make sense, have the diagram. And that's what I like to do for you guys. So you really understand, like, oh, okay, you're not going to walk away and be like, I don't remember the words she said, but you're going to walk away and you're going to be like, oh yeah, Hercules, that golden thread. Oh yeah, my brain. Okay. And that's what I want for you. I don't want you to walk away from this training being like, what did Chrisanne say? It was good. I took notes. Because a lot of times, you can write all the notes, but you walk away and you're like, I don't really remember. Kind of like reading a book. Same thing. You can read a book over and over again because you're like, oh, I get something new every time, right? You walk away from this training and your brain will only commit to memory what it felt like was valuable or what really stuck. And so that's why visuals are very helpful. And that's why I love giving them. One of our mentors says to write down repetitive negative thoughts on paper, tearing them up and burning them in a safe place. Thanks for your confidence and communication. Yeah, I wonder, Jay, does that work for you? I haven't written down my negative thoughts over and over again. I'd be a little worried to do that, to be honest. Like, if it works, that's awesome. But I'd be like, I'm just continuing to write this negative thing about me. Am I committing it into my brain more so than getting rid of it by tearing it up over and over? I've not tried that practice. So I wouldn't know. So I'd love to hear how that works. So anyway, oh my goodness, I've talked for a long time and you guys have been on here and I appreciate you all. You've stuck in here and yeah. So like I said, this, just working on your mindset is really the foundation to everything. And I posted in the group a couple days ago and I said, your business is 80% mindset. Your growth, your, scaling your business is 80% mindset. And I wholeheartedly believe that. And I know that not everyone believes that, and that's okay. But why I believe it is because, your business is 80% mindset, 20% strategy, because I can give you all the strategies in the world. I can say, you know what, you need to post 5 times a week and you need to go live 3 times and you need to post a free, free PDF. So like, I can tell you all that stuff. I can say, you need to create this course, you need to create this sales funnel and get people on your email list and all that stuff. But if you don't have the mindset behind doing it, Like, you can be like, okay, I'm just checking things off a list. If you are coming at something from the energy of checking it off the list, it's going to fall flat. And then you're going to be like, well, why aren't these strategies working? And it's like, well, because we didn't work on your mindset first, right? You have to have the mindset for, I mean, okay, if you're going to post 5 times, if you post from the energy of I'm just doing this to check it off a list, like that energy comes out in your post. If you're creating a sales funnel or, trying to create a sales funnel and you're like, okay, I created this PDF thing to try and get people into my funnel as the first touch point, and that PDF's crap, and you're like, well, why is nobody coming into my funnel that I created? And if they would just come in and opt into this PDF and then get on my email list and then I could sell them, it's like, but if your mindset isn't there, then your copy is not going to land. Your selling isn't going to land. So, and this is a big thing I'm going to help those of you with who are going to join my course next week. And I already have a few people in the course. And like I said, we're starting next week on Wednesday. And I think at this time as well. It's going to be at this time. And I'm going to help you with the mindset and with the mindset around like your branding, your messaging, your niche, so that you're very clear on who you serve, how you serve them, what you serve them, and the mindset behind it. So you're not going to be struggling like, oh, am I charging too much? Am I charging too little? Am I cutting people out because I've niched down so much? Am I really, is my offer good enough? Am I good enough to even share this offer? So we're going to dive deeper into all that and more in my course that starts next week. And again, you can find that at krisannnicole.com. So just my name, first name, middle name.com. So there's 3 N's in that. And you can sign up today. I'm also going to be showing up here again tomorrow, same time. We're going to be talking more about the business. So yes, their mindset is 80%, but we also have some business strategies that's 20%. So it's important to understand the business of a 6-figure earner as well. And then day 3 is all about taking action like a 6-figure earner. So I just want to take this time and offer it up for any questions you guys have. Go ahead and throw them in the chat for these last few minutes. That way I can make sure that I answer any questions you have about just anything about mindset. Like what, if you're struggling with something, I know you guys have been interacting great and you have been asking some questions like about your offer and your pricing and your niche. And yeah, so if you have any questions, go ahead, type them in the chat. I'm going to catch up on the chat real quick. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. I try very hard just to counter any negative thoughts in my head, though it works for a lot of people. Yeah, so yeah, I was wondering, like, if you have negative thoughts, and here's another thing, when you're trying to get rid of your negative thoughts, like, again, don't beat yourself up, don't shame yourself. It's not about that. It's not feeling guilty about them. It's recognizing that they're there. You're human. It's okay. And then so there's like thought replacement. And, if you're going to replace a negative thought, you need to replace it with a thought that you actually believe. So if you're like, I'm not good enough, you might not be able to replace that with the thought, I am good enough, because that's too big of a gap, right? You have to, if you're going to do thought replacement, you have to replace your thoughts with thoughts that you actually believe, okay? And so you might have to go from a negative thought first to a neutral thought, and then get yourself to a positive thought. And you have to do the work to get there, right? Mindset work is a constant work. It never ends. That's why there's mindset coaches and they make a butt ton of money, because like everyone needs it. And that's why a lot good business coaches also do mindset coaching. And I started as a mindset coach and now I do business coaching. And so I do the business mindset coaching together. But I think it's so important to have both. But yeah, so don't just go from like, I hate myself to I love myself, because you won't believe that if you truly believe you hate yourself. You have to go from I hate myself to like, you know what, I'm okay with myself. Like I'm okay with myself to maybe I accept myself, to maybe I like myself, to I love myself, right? It's a progression. It's not just, oh, this is a negative thought, I'm going to take its complete opposite, positive thought, and start thinking that instead, because you're not going to believe it, right? You have to when you're working with your minds and your thoughts, they have to be believable, or your mind's going to reject them and go back to just thinking those negative thoughts. So just another tip. I love giving tips. I'm like, I could talk forever and just give you everything in my head. And I love giving away. Like I said, like I'm the type of person, and I've asked this before, like, do you give your best stuff away for free, or do you save that for your clients? And I'm like, if you're in my group, I treat you like you're my paid client, and you're in here because that's where I'm going live, and I'm giving my best stuff away for free, technically. So look at that. I just feel like, you know, I just love you guys so much, and I love what I do. I'm so passionate about it, and that's how I know that I'm aligned. And that's how you are going to know that you're aligned, that you are so passionate about it that you're like, I'm going to show up nervous. I'm going to show up sweaty. I'm going to press live, even though I'm like, all these thoughts, you do it. So anyway, if you have any questions, write them down in the chat. One of our challenges in pricing is helping others understand the value of their time. Time is the new currency. Exactly. Oh my goodness. That's so true. And a lot of new entrepreneurs, I notice when I get new entrepreneurs as clients, they struggle with that. They're like, oh, you know, I need to do it all myself. And it's like, okay, outsourcing can be very helpful because it's like your time is worth more than your money. And you know, there are people who are like, well, I don't want to invest in a coach. And it's like, well, if that coach can fast track your progress, and then, you know, if you invest this much to get this much knowledge, or this much knowledge in this much time, or this much, you know, like you're taking decades and learning it in days, taking decades, turning it into days. And Tony Robbins says that too. And it's the idea that you're paying someone to help you get there faster. You're paying someone to, so it's like, you know, you hold on to your money. You're like, I don't want to pay my money, but it's like, but that's not your most valuable resource. Like Jay just said, it's time. Time is your most valuable resource because you cannot get your time back. Money will come, money will go. Money, you can make money. Go to McDonald's, you can make money, right? Like money has, and I did a training on this a while back, that money has no value. Like money is just a piece of paper. It's once you exchange that money for something, then there is worth, right? You have to give that money away for something of worth for it to have any value. So money just in a bank account doesn't do anything. Money moving does something. Money flowing does something. So yeah, don't be attached to the money. Be understanding that your time is your most valuable resource. And so if you can invest money to shortcut the time or whatever, get your time back, because like a VA, you hire a VA so you can have more time, right? So, and these are all mindset things. We're kind of going what seems like to a strategy or off task, but it really comes back to, it's about your mindset. You're not investing, well, that's your mindset. And another thing like with that is, if you want clients to invest in you, how are you investing in you? And how are you investing in coaches or whatever it is you offer? How are you investing and showing up as the person that you want to attract, right? If you're not investing money, but you're expecting people to invest money in you, like, think about that. Again, it goes back to your mindset. You're like, okay, how do I become the person that I want to attract? And I mean, that's just another thought that you get to think and a question you get to ask yourself, and the difference between high quality questioning and low quality questioning. Not why am I not attracting clients? It's how can I become the client that I want to attract, right? Just another goodie. I'm like, oh, that just came to me. Okay. All right, awesome. So one challenge pricing. So let's see, time is my new currency. Yes, time. Yep. High levels, everyone's time is quantified. Everyone's skill set has a dollar value, and paying you to augment that skill set can have compounding returns in the confidence and results it produces. Absolutely. Yeah. So like, you know, it's not that someone is paying just for the logo. It's that they are paying for your time. They are paying for your knowledge, your expertise, and they get the logo. So again, it's your mindset and positioning yourself as the value. And I just posted this in the group, I think this morning, a reminder that you are the value in your offer. The value of your offer is you. you are the value because you are valuable, okay? So if you take one thing away from this today, is that you are valuable. You are enough. You have everything you need, okay? So I think that's it for today. And I'm excited you guys were all here. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for participating in the chat. And I love you all. And I'm excited for tomorrow's live, all diving into business. And if you are gung-ho and ready to learn from me more in depth and just, I think, you know, next week, starting off with my live course, go KrisAnneNicole.com. You'll find more details. I'm tongue-tied right now of any of the details, but you guys can go look at that, and I'll post it in the chat as well after the fact. And if you're just hopping on or you are catching the replay, type #replay. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow, and I will be engaging in the group after this is over. And if you're watching the replay and you're commenting, I'll be engaging with you guys. I'll go back and read through the comments and read every single one. If you guys have questions that you think of after the fact or I didn't answer, post them below and I'd be happy to come back in and I'll answer those questions for you. Anyway, I hope you have a fantastic day. Thank you guys for spending the hour with me. I love you all. You guys are amazing. And I will see you tomorrow, same time. Bye.